welcome to episode number 12 of Kirk Question. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the show where I answer your questions, and there's not much more to say than that. I hope you enjoy it. Wish me luck!
This question comes from Wes Allen on Facebook.
Right.
And Wes asks, do you miss your dreads?
Do I miss my dreads? Hell no, dude. Hell no. They were good at the time, but so much better once they were gone. What can I say? They were a weight on my shoulders, quite literally. And as cool as they were back when I was a young wannabe surfer dude, I do not miss them one single bit. Yeah. And will they be coming back ever? No, they will not. That time is done. It's over. I've moved on. I will be dread-free for the rest of my existence.
So the next question comes from Tom Nelson on Facebook.
Right.
And they ask, how do you cope financially whilst committing so much of your time to music in the beginning?
In the beginning? Interesting. Good question. Well, for me, like in the beginning, I did have to, I think when you're a startup, whether it be a musician or any other business, you've kind of just got to do the hard yards in those first, 3 to 5 years, whatever it may be, and just work. Actually, Gary Vee calls it a side hustle, which I love. So you've kind of got your regular 9 to 5, part-time or full-time, whatever it may be. And then you're literally spending the hours outside of that, not going out and socializing with all your friends every single day and spending all your money at the bar. You're actually putting your head down and getting your career up and going. So I literally had to do that when I was young. I missed out on hundreds of house parties when I was 18 years old because I was not really as interested in them as all my friends were. I was way more interested in going out and playing gigs. So I was working a part-time job at a music store. I think even before then, I was working a part-time job at Subway, and then I started using, the time outside of that to either do a gig or go busking. And yeah, it was just constant work hard in order to get ahead later, where you do have the freedom to quit that part-time job or full-time job or whatever it may be, the job that you're not actually as interested in order to spend your full time on the music career. So I would say you've just got to accept that the first 3 to 5, maybe even more years are just going to be hard work. You just got to work hard and be a little bit disciplined. And when your friends say, come down to the bar, man, come to the bar, we're just going to spend all our money on booze, which actually does nothing for us in terms of a long-term life goals. You've just got to say no. You've just got to be disciplined, put your head down, do the work, believe in yourself, and trust that time will pay off. I guess time will pay off. You do have time. You've got time. Take your time. Do the work.
Question number 3.
Indeed.
Comes from Patrick Ryan on Facebook.
Patty.
And Patrick asks, if you could change one thing about how people communicate with you, what would it be?
Interesting question, Pat. If I could change one thing about how people communicate, I don't know if this is in reference to just everyday life or if it's at a show. Maybe I'll just talk about how people communicate sometimes after the show. I reckon let's go with that. So I guess because there's one thing that comes to mind. It's happening, I think, a little bit more and more now. I'm noticing that generally one thing I'm super enthusiastic about is dedicating as long as it takes after my shows to talk to everybody that wants to come and have a chat, grab some merch, whatever it may be. I will sit there until 2 a.m. if that's what I have to do, 3 a.m., whatever, if there's, a whole bunch of people that want to come chat. And I've just noticed in recent times that people are kind of, a little bit of a queue develops, and there's a few people that seem to think it's okay to just cut in front whilst I'm chatting to someone, and we're in the middle of a conversation, sometimes quite deep conversations, just because they don't have the patience. And I just would ask that people please just be patient. I want to talk to absolutely every single one of you, but I also don't want to, and I usually speak out. I usually say, look, hold on, whoever it may be, we will chat, but you just got to just hold on a sec. We're actually in the middle of a conversation here. So if there's one thing I could change, that would be that, I guess, in terms of at the end of my shows, I guess a little bit more patience. I promise. It is extremely, extremely important to me to get to chat to absolutely everyone who wants to have a chat. So don't ever fear, unless there's like some kind of like crazy time restriction where we've got to like literally bounce from the gig to go get on a plane or something like that. That would be the only consideration. But other than that, I'll stand there as long as I need to for anyone that needs to or wants to chat. That is totally something that is so important to me. So that would be the one thing in terms of end of shows. Just if everyone could maybe just be considerate of everyone else that's also lining up and spending their time having a chat.
The next question comes from @Bally703.
Bally!
From
Love it!
They're on a roll, trust me.
But insert that there. Tyler, that is your job for this episode, to insert the badum.
It's like everything I said.
So good.
All right, and they're coming from Twitter. I don't think we've had a Twitter one before.
Yeah, that could be the first Twitter.
This could be the first Twitter. And they ask, how do you cope with talkers at gigs?
Good question, Bally. Very good question. Personally, it doesn't actually bother me that much. I actually, when it's happening at shows, I actually see that as like something I'm doing wrong. I'm obviously not, there's either, the sound in the room, we've set it up wrong, or I'm not actually performing to the best of my abilities in order to kind of grab people's attention enough. So I usually, when that's happening, first take responsibility for it and kind of see it as something that I need to change rather than they need to change and they need to stop talking. The only time that I ever speak up about it is when I can see people who have paid money to come and see the show. I can see them getting uncomfortable, and you can usually see it when they're kind of turning and looking at wherever that noise is coming from, or they're starting to, just get fidgety. And when I see that happening, that's when I then kind of sometimes speak up and just go, guys, I actually have absolutely no problem with you having a chat. It seems that these people are feeling a bit uncomfortable. They've paid money to come and see this show. Could you please just be a little bit respectable and either, dull down the chatter or just go outside and just have a chat to your friend out there. Totally fine. Totally fine. That's the only time I really ever speak up. Other than that, I see it as I've got to improve what I'm doing on stage in order to kind of make sure that they're, not distracted, or that they're, fully captivated with the show. So yeah, that would be my answer to that one. Bally, thank you so much. Twitter, that's where it's at.
So question number 5,
Righto.
From Lola Costia, hopefully, from Facebook.
Lola nonetheless.
Lola, your question will be answered. And their question is, what do you think about the inequality in the music industry?
Ooh.
And how much harder it is for women / non-binary to be seen and heard, or even given the same starting out opportunities in a completely male-dominated space?
How do I feel about it? Bad. is the first word that comes to mind. Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to change, and I think is kind of slowly changing. Not kind of wish it would be faster, to be honest, but yeah, I think we've still got a long way to go. And I think that it's not just the music industry, it's every industry out there. It's still a thing, you know. That the fact is that females, non-binary, you know, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander people are all getting the shit end of the stick still, which is just ridiculous in 2019 that we can still be in this place. And I mean, personally, what do we do about it? I'm not sure if I've got the answer. Know enough about the serious statistics to give an answer, but I can just say that I've got your back, Lola. I've got your back all the way. Actually, like something that I didn't really want to kind of make too public, but I think it was the Save My Soul tour last year. I think it was both, actually, the Save My Soul tour and the Howlin' at the Moon tour last year, where I had this mission to make all the supports, I think they were female. I think every single support on those tours was female, and I didn't want to, like, you know, shout about it and make a big fuss of it, because it's just the way that it should be, and I don't think these things should be made a fuss of. It's just the way it should be. So yeah, Lola, I've absolutely got your back, and if there's anything that I can do to help in any way, I want every single female, non-binary, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander, whatever your background may be, I totally am on board for equality, absolutely, well and truly. And I want to do whatever I can to get involved. Reach out, please. Let me know. I guess yeah, there's definitely some guilt there as a white male. I sit here in front of a camera, and you kind of you feel like you're part of the problem, I guess. That does not feel good to me. It does not feel good, and I'm not completely sure what the answer is, except just to keep on doing my little bit to when female or whoever reaches out, to be aware of the problems that we still face, and just try and do my bit. All right, outro. Thank you so much for watching, you big pack of legends. Hope you've enjoyed this episode number 12 of Kirk Questions. That's number 2, by the way. 12 would be, I've already stuffed this up once because I'm trying to, does that look like it? Anyway, episode number 12. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your questions. If you've got a question, drop it below. Drop it in the comments below, and I would love to get to it in the next or future episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.